All right, everybody, welcome to this segment of Sit Down with the Boss. First of all, go to Crime Family TV, number 1 and 2, like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. We got a special guest in the building tonight. Give a little introduction and let them know who you are.
Good evening, everybody. This is Javo G from Corpus Christi. I'm 52 years old. I've been in the music industry since high school. Got out of high school in 1987, graduated from Miller High School, and went directly into managing a group called N.S.B.S. back in the days. Since then, I moved around to California, Chicago area in Carbondale, Illinois, Atlanta, Monterrey, Mexico, and I moved around a little bit into Miami area right there in Florida, Orlando, Florida. But hometown is Corpus Christi. Love music, love the industry. I've done a lot of radio here in Corpus Christi, mainly Tejano music. I did KSAB 99.9, Bessel 94, Magic 105, you name it. Every radio station in Corpus. I've done some commercials for Z95, commercials for Wild 105. I've done Showtime boxing as a ring announcer in Atlanta, GA. I did a lot of filming in Atlanta for Def Jam South. Followed Jay-Z around. Also Rick Ross. A lot of red carpets out there with Outkast, Big Boy, Usher, Cat Williams. I did the whole circuit in Atlanta out there. Then I worked for BSPN. Shot a lot of news, reporting for them. WSIL in Carbondale, went to governors' homes, did an interview with W.B. Bush when he came to Corpus Christi with Emilio Navaida. Just so many things. I've been in the music industry as well as the news industry. I started off on radio one day when they called me and says, would you like to come in for an interview for Univision? So they called me into Univision to become an entertainment reporter. So I did a lot of interviews with a lot of the superstars in the Mexican side of it, like Vicente Fernandez, Vicky Carr, you name it. If they came to town, I had Enrique Iglesias. So many stars that came into town. I've done countless of interviews with all the Tejano circuit, a lot of the hometown rappers here from town. When I was in Atlanta, of course, Jay-Z, Rick Ross, just right off the bat, interview after interview, so much fun out there. So I love the music industry. I'm still in it. For the past 9 years, I've been working for Club Pure as your hype host, keeping the crowds crunk. Recently, it closed down. So now I work at Alexia's Event Center as a host for quinceañeras, weddings, and private parties. I still have my own company called Matador Productions where, we do a lot of the commercials locally, a lot of music videos. I also work for Freddie Records as a music director. And now I have Matador Productions where I have gone on from being a cameraman to a news cameraman to a director, to an actor. Now I'm a producer for movies. So that's where we're at right now in 2022, Pat.
Already. Now, what fine schools in the Corpus Christi area did you attend as a youth?
Growing up, I grew up on the west side of town. Elementary was Oak Park, which it hurts me because it was knocked down and they built another one. Yeah. As well as my junior high, which was Driscoll Junior High. The original was knocked down. They built another one. I'm a very proud Miller Buccaneer. Hopefully they don't knock that down because we still have the nicest stadium in town. So yeah, I'm a graduate of 1987 from Miller Bucks.
All right. Now, what did you start to get into the music business?
Back in 1987, right out of the graduation, I'll be honest, I never liked school. School just wasn't for me. I guess it was the early hours of having to get up, but I never liked to go to school. So I've always been playing around with recorders. Remember the first recorders with the tape decks? Mm-hmm. I always carried a little microphone, always had a little camera. So I've always been around that. So as soon as I graduated, I picked up a band named N.S.B.S, which was Richard Ayala and Creon Martin. Mm-hmm. And I started managing them. At the time, I felt like, God, this is unbelievable. Yeah. I have a Latino and a Black. Nobody's doing that. Oh, really? This is it. So that was the first group I picked up. After that, I went up to pick up who is now the Cumbia King, DJ Kane, Young and the Ruthless with John Pettis. Mm-hmm. I felt like I had two of the best rappers groups, not knowing that they were at each other's, throws. And you had N.S.B.S and Young. I was naive to the whole fact that these guys were from different territories, what have you. You know, the hate in Corpus, which needs to stop, by the way. But yeah, I started music industry right out of high school, Pat.
Already. Now, who was your biggest influence in getting in the music industry?
The biggest influence in getting into music industry was a good friend of mine, the late, great Che Serrato. Che was a friend of mine from Mexico, and I always felt he was always well connected because of journalism, like what you're doing. I mean, this is a cat that used to interview Carlos Santana, the Rolling Stones, Aerosmith. This guy had huge connections, and I wanted to do that. I wanted, man, someday I want to be able to do what he does. Enrique Iglesias, Julio Iglesias, his father. So yeah, I would have to say my major influence to getting into this would be Che Serrato in Corpus.
All right, now, what type of things, like you said, you do the videos and you got your company. What exactly on social media can they see Javo all doing?
Well, in social media, when the pandemic started a couple of years ago, I felt lost. I'm not gonna lie, you know, they shut down, they had the pandemic, everybody was quarantined, everybody's at home. I felt like we were all jailed. You remember a couple of years back, like what is going on? I felt like my calling was I have to entertain the people. I created a show called the Javo G Show, which would play 90s and 80s music just to keep the people like, you still have music that can take you away from this, you know, because people were locked in. We were all locked in. So my wife, with her support, told me, just keep doing the show. You got listeners. They're watching you. They're watching. You can catch me every day on the Javo G Show still today. Even though the pandemic is still lingering around, I haven't given up. You can catch me from 11 to 12, Monday through Friday. And just, I enjoy it because of my fan base has grown so much. People who have went back to work, they still take their phones to work and listen to the show. But it's just a reminder that, you know, you set your mind to something, anything can happen. I didn't do it when I started for money because nobody had money. Nobody was working. Of course, you had those checks that were helping people out. If I remember, I forget what they're called. I didn't get one, but slowly I started to get sponsors. And I think the man upstairs, God, I've been very blessed that the show is still going today and it's becoming a common thing, the Javo G Show. I have 13 proud sponsors right now.
Already. Now, let's talk about something a little more serious that you've been in your life, recently having a stroke.
Oh, man, Pat.
How did that change Javo's daily routine and the things that Javo gets to do?
Well, let me start by saying, Patrick, that I'm only human. And I've done just about everything you can think of that is dirty. I mean, I worked at the clubs. I did the whole thug gangster thing. I've done it all, okay? Working for the past 9 months at 9 years at Club Pure as a high post, it really took a toll on me. I mean, you're looking at a 50-year-old man who loves music. Here I am at 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, jumping around like a cumbia king. And with the nightlife comes drinking and shots and this and that, you know, so much. Living that life, I wouldn't change a thing. Don't get me wrong, because I loved it. I love getting up. I love to see people having a great time. I think that was my calling, to entertain people. But here with the pandemic recently, the club closed, okay? At 52 years old, I was thinking, should I quit this business or continue? I still have my Facebook show. I still shoot videos and stuff like that, but that was a really big awakening. Having a stroke on Christmas Eve was the biggest awakening you could have. If this is a message from God, this is it. You don't. It's so true when they say tomorrow's not promised. You have to live life to the fullest. But now I'm living for the Lord.
Right.
I have made a 180. Trust me when I say that old Javo G is left. I left him in 2021. 2022, you see a much more confident, much more settled, more. I'm just concentrated more in 2022. So it's changed my life dramatically. My relationship with my wife has become so much better. My health is better. I'm taking walks on a daily basis just to meditate and get my mind away from everything. You know, it still comes around me, but now, not like before. I'm honest. Before you can pull out something, oh, let me have some of that, or let me get one of those, or some of this. I can be around it now, and I don't even want it in my system. When I was telling my friends, nowadays I treat my body like a Ferrari. You're not gonna stick any dirty gas or the worst oil in it. So you got to take care of your body like it's a Ferrari. So everything that comes into my body has to be A1. So how did it change my life? For the better. For the better. I don't miss the old guy at all. So I feel like making this change, and believe me, you guys, if this ever happens to you, I don't wish it on anybody. It's the worst feeling you can have. You're going to find out who your real friends are. I'm not one to push God on anybody. I can just tell you what I've experienced, and you will lose friends. But at the end of the day, there's a saying, those weren't real friends to begin with. So I'm not missing them. I'm being driven by Jesus himself. So whatever I feel he's telling me to do, I'll do it.
Oh, really? Now, how is it important is helping, in your life to help other people? How important is that?
Oh, man, you know what? At this point in life, it's not even about money anymore. It's about seeing people not waste their time. Why would you hold a key that you have? If you could help somebody get to that next level, why would you hold a key if it's not greed? My whole theory in life has always been to help people, open doors. If they need help, open up a door. If I got the key, I'm going to walk right in and help you, and I'll walk you in. How important is it? What are you going to take when you die, people? I practically flatlined on Christmas Eve, and what are you going to take with you? Not the money. You're not going to take no jewelry. You're not going to take any of that. The only thing you can leave is a legacy and what people are going to say and carry your story on. Who was Javo? Oh, I want to be that guy. People say, Javo opened this. Javo helped me with that. That's bigger than any amount of money. So how important it is to me, it's very important. It's very, very important to help people and come together, no matter what race, color, or creed. I have friends in China, Pakistan, Lebanon, Jerusalem. I have them from all around the world due to the club. So I get along with the whole world. There is not one racist bone in my body. If my friends need help from on the other side of the world, I'm going to help them. Why? Because it's the thing to do. There's no time to waste, people. There's no time to waste. No better time than the present. If you can help that next man, you need to. You need to.
Well, really, now, what can they expect next from Javo G in the future right now? What has Javo got coming off the burner?
Well, I come from a great family. My mom and dad are still alive, thank God. I'm still able to call them on a daily basis. Amen. Unfortunately, my kids, my family, it was broken. I wasn't able to raise my kids, and I'm jealous of you guys that do have your kids. Cherish every moment, because I missed the first 15 years from two of my kids and my daughter. The legacy that I want to leave, is that the question? It's not money, but I want them to know that they come from a good family. I want to leave the fact, when I leave this earth, I want people to say, man, Javo was always straight line. If he said he was going to do something, he always made it happen. Never cheat people for money. That's not even worth it, man. It's not worth it. But I want my kids to be proud to say, man, that was my dad. And I had that feeling 2 years ago when my baby girl and my sons came to see me at the club. They had no idea who I was. And I didn't want them to know who I was. But when they came to the club, they were like, man, that's the king of the night, That's the king of the night. So yeah. I want them to feel that. That I haven't wasted 52 years of my life. Oh, really? I want them to know that when people, they meet, hey, you knew my dad. Oh, your dad was this. Not your dad was a criminal. Your dad was a rat. I couldn't trust your dad. Never that. I want my kids to say, my dad was amazing.
Already. Now, do you have anybody, before we get out of here, that been instrumental in your life you'd like to give some shout outs to?
Oh, absolutely, man. Let me start off by saying my wife. If you have a wife that supports every move you make, who doesn't try to derail you or talk down on your ideas, my wife is key in my world. I don't think there's another woman that can stand the life that I lived, especially 9 years at the club. Come on, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
My parents, we come from a humble family. My parents were the one. We weren't born with silver spoons in our mouths. We were born to learn how to work with money, work with people, not to be spoiled. We were never spoiled. You know, I wore my brother's clothes, and then my little brother wore my clothes, so it just hang me down. We were born we were raised humble. So big inspirations, my mom and dad, my pops for raising us the way we did. My wife, of course. I've got to say, the late, great George Bailly. Carlos Lopez, Rick Sanchez from Magic, who gave me the first opportunity on radio, who opened up many doors since then. Lady T, back in the days, Q World Productions. She's resting in peace now, but she gave. You remember Lady T with Q? Okay.
She managed me in Korea one time.
Okay, so you know, I don't forget people that opened doors for me. Were Lady T, George Bailly, my wife. I love her so much. She's a very big inspiration. But people along the way that have helped me, Rick Hamadi in Atlanta, who is still alive today. God bless his soul. He's doing great. Ches Serrato, I mentioned him earlier. I feel that he's my angel right now. I can still hear his, dude, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know, I still, so we do have guardian angels, guys. Believe that. What can I tell you, man? It's just, once you feel you're being dominated, and what I mean by dominated, if you feel like you're living a life routinely, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. You're living zombie. Take control of your life. This is what I feel like I'm at. I'm at a point right now where I'm in control of my life. Near future things that are coming up, guys, are just amazing, amazing. I'm about to embark in some very big projects I really am not at liberty to talk about, but I can tell you this. I will be a huge movie producer. I will open and continue opening doors for actors, people that want to do camera work, director work. I'm gonna succeed in doing this because I know that I feel the power of this. The word I'm looking for, guys, is help me out here. When you have the Holy Spirit, you got to listen to it. This is no longer Javo G you're talking to. The Holy Spirit's telling me that just hold on. Don't rush anything. You're going to continue doing great things in this life. And I'm just going to follow that with that said.
Well, really, now we appreciate you for coming through. Very, very respected legend in the city, throughout the state, throughout the United States. You know, you're known worldwide. We appreciate you for coming through. As of right now, everybody go to the Krime Family TV, like and subscribe to that channel, hit that notification bell. But for right now, Javo G has just sat down with the boss.
Pat, thank you so much for having me and taking this time. And listen, guys, one more thing I want to say. Stop the hatred, man. Stop hating. There's power in numbers. If we can all come together, there's nothing, I mean nothing we can't do. Okay, guys? God bless you all. Much love.
Alrighty, y'all. That was Javo G.